How would you feel if you had to pay $9 each day just to drive in your own city? Well, it's happening. Can't make this stuff up. Yeah, welcome into the channel, guys. That's exactly what is happening. New York City, Manhattan to be specific, has implemented a new $9 congestion fee daily, mind you. If you drive into Manhattan during the day, it goes away or it lessens at night. You have to pay $9. If you leave the city and come back, it's not charged twice. It's just once a day, but it's $9 a day. And they say it's going to reduce traffic by 280,000 cars a week. That's 40,000 cars per day. It's taking off the streets. So my question is, all 40,000 of those people, for the most part, are tourists or out-of-towners or people coming in to spend money, to do business, to whatever it is. Because I know most of the locals, raise your hand if you're in my video and you live in New York City. Correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the locals don't drive or don't own cars. Or if they do, they're parked outside the city or somewhere in one of the parking garages. You guys walk, or you guys take the subway or the bus or public transportation, maybe even Ubers, which is part of the car problem, taxis and Ubers and buses. But for the most part, you guys don't drive. Those cars coming in and out of the city are almost majority tourism or just people from outside the city, maybe commuting to work. You know, somebody that lives like an hour outside of the city who drives into work every day and then has to park in one of the garages or one of the buildings. Those are not local. So that amount of vehicles coming into the city is probably people that are spending money, tourists, business people. They might be paying to park in the city. They might be paying to do business there. A lot of 40,000 cars full of people that could be spending money in the city, and you're trading that for $9 per car on the cars that have to come in. There's some cars that can't stop. They got to pay that $9, right? And $9 is $270 a month. What if you're a person who does live outside of New York City, outside of Manhattan, and you drive into the city for work every day and you park at your business's garage, right? And you drive an hour to work every day. You don't have a choice. You got to get there. You can't take public transportation. You don't live on the east, the Upper East Side, and you're going to, Hell's Kitchen to get to work. You can just jump in the subway and go, right? That doesn't work that way. You have to drive to work because you live in East Rutherford in New Jersey, or you come across the bridge and you live in the Bronx or whatever. They're trading all of that 40,000 car traffic to decongest the city in order to A, collect money on the people that have to, and B, for what? They're giving up a lot of tourist dollars. So now if you want to go to, Manhattan and you're a tourist who's going to stay for a couple days to tour the city and spend money, you got to spend an extra $9 a day. It seems pretty trivial and pretty cheap. But at the same time, this is New York City, right? Am I missing something here? Can the locals tell me, maybe the people that live in New York City, and I know there's a few of them watching my videos, can tell me exactly the thinking behind this? I know that you guys want your city streets to be less congested. I'm not going to argue with that. And I know that collecting $9 a car sounds pretty damn good because there's hundreds of thousands of cars a week coming through the city. That's hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, they estimate $500 million could be earned every year from this, which is pretty staggering. That's $500 million. That's pretty nuts, right? That's $40 million a month coming in. But are you turning off all the people that could potentially be driving? And what kind of tourist dollars are they no longer going to spend in your city because they don't want to pay that $9 to drive into the city? And some people are probably going to argue and go, if $9 is too much for you to come tour our city, don't bother. Yeah, it's a fair argument. I'll go with that. But it just seems silly to me. And it seems to me that all those tourist dollars, spending them on museums and parking and all this stuff would go to the city anyways that they're going to lose. This just seems to me like a way to say, we're going to charge you $9 to be in our city, in our free public roads in the United States of America, simply because we can. We want to charge you fees because we can. Well, I'm charging you a service fee on my water bill. I go to pay my water bill the other day. It's like $80. I log in. All of a sudden, there's a $2.50 convenience fee on my $80 water bill. And I'm like, that's interesting. And so I go into my handy dandy calculator and I type in 80 and I do $2.50 over my $80 and I get 3.31, right? Over my $80. 0.031, if I'm not mistaken, was the math. Let me just redo it here. Over 80. 0.031. They charged me 3.1% of my water bill to collect the payment with my debit or credit card over the computer. And we all know that most credit card processors charge like 2.99%, 3%, 30 cents surcharge. So that's about what the credit card processors charge, but it didn't used to be that way. So why are they now charging it? Is it because they can? It used to be, I guess, they would eat the credit card fees and now we're eating them. And to me, this feels like a $9 fee simply because they can. Again, if you live in New York, if you're a local to New York, I don't know. Help me with this. Let me know, other than uncongesting your streets, what the thinking is behind this and how we've come to a business point of perspective. And I know this isn't reseller related, but I think it's business and I think it's life related and I think it's relevant. That we're just going to charge a $9 fee to have you drive into one of the biggest cities in the world simply because we can. And I know a few people are going to mention tolls, like if you want to drive across the bridge in Florida here, our Sunshine Skyway Bridge, it's like $5, right? $4, $5. It cuts your trip by half an hour, depending on what side of the bridge you're on, rather than going all the way around. But you have a choice. You can go all the way around the mainland onto 275 and go the other route, and you don't have to take the bridge. It's longer, it sucks, but it's an option. You want to visit New York City, you got to pay $9 if you're going in your car. You don't have an option. So is it fair? What do you guys think? As always, leave it in the comment section below. I'm curious what you guys think about this. And just so we don't get into politics, Donald Trump actually opposes this. He, of course, has Trump Tower in Manhattan. He lives there part of the time. He does business there. And so his employees, his people, everybody would have to charge or pay $9 to get in and out of the city. He opposes this, and they rushed it to get it in before he was president. And from the other political side of the thing, this wasn't a Democrat or Republican thing. I think that they both had supporters on both sides of it. I think some Republicans like it and some Democrats like it and some don't and some don't. So I don't think this was in any way a political side thing. I think it was half and half, split right down the line, and not Democratic, Republican, just certain people and certain people. So interested to see, that. I don't want to take it to a political side of things, but just so all the people that are going to chime in about politics on it, which is inevitable, know that this was not a Democratic, Republican argument here. So let me hear your thoughts in the comments section. This was a crazy story. People sent it to me. I figured it would be good to cover on the channel here. And as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure before you leave, you go down to the comment section and go down to the description box. There are some amazing products, services, and links, some amazing sponsors to this channel, including our tax accountant, Mark II, Not Your Dad CPA, virtual event January 21st, completely free with giveaways. And he's going to help everybody with their taxes. He's going to show you what you need to know and give you some opportunities to work with him, his academy, his services, and everything else that you could ever hope for tax season. Welcome to 2025 tax season. Sorry, guys. As always, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see everyone